Hi there, I'm Michael Stinnett with the Antique Piano Shop, and now we're going to talk about the old-fashioned player piano. I'm sure many of you know what an old-fashioned player piano is. It's a piano that plays by itself. What I have here is a piano roll. Long before the CD, the cassette tape, the MP3, even the record, player piano rolls were how music was transferred to rural America. The player piano revolutionized music in America. 100 years ago, the player piano brought music to the American home. It was the first way that most people ever heard music unless it was sang to them by their mother or grandmother. So can you imagine living in an area with no electricity, no record player, no radio, and hearing music actually coming from a piano, even if nobody knew how to play? Well, that's where this came into play. This is a Williams player piano built circa 1920. The popular era of the player piano was about 1905 to about 1929. By 1930, the record player and the radio were popular, and they were inexpensive, so the player piano sort of went by the wayside. Between about 1900 and 1929, there were about 2 million player pianos built in America. I've heard stories where during the teens and 20s, a piano salesman would have a couple of these player pianos in the back of his T-model or in his wagon, and he would pull up to a farmhouse faking an axle break or a broken wheel. And he'd beg the farmer and his wife, "Oh please, can you keep the player piano overnight for me? Or a couple of days, I'll come pick it up." And well, the farmer and his wife would usually oblige, and they'd bring the piano in the house, and by the time that the salesman came back in a few days, everybody was laughing and singing and playing the player piano, and for $5 down and $5 a week, they owned that player piano. So the piano and player piano actually founded America's financial system. It was one of the most expensive commodities money could buy. This is a player piano roll. This piece of paper right here is actually 2 years older than this piano. This is 1918, QRS music. As you can see on this piano roll, the words are printed along the side and they move up as the music plays. It's actually a very early form of karaoke. Families used to gather around the player piano, they'd watch for the words, and they'd all sing. And so long before the phonograph or radio, this is how people knew to learn music. Here at the Antique Piano Shop, we specialize in restoring these pianos to perfection. All of our restorations are done historically accurate, and these pianos play like the day that they were built. We're one of the few companies in existence that specializes in these player pianos because it is a dying art. So if you want to have your player piano restored, you should send it to us. We'll be glad to do it for you. This piano is going to be going home to Texas pretty soon to the grandma and grandpa that had it restored for their family. They're really excited to see it.